Now it's time for us to look at the indices, the laws of indices. So we want to look at the laws of indices. So what does this laws actually entail? So how do we go about these laws of indices? So the first one we're going to start off with is the multiplication law. So there is a law that says that, for example, you have a number like a raised to the power of x and multiply by a number also with the same base raised to the power of y. So as you can see, both are having the same base, that is base A, base A. Now, the rules applies here that what you do is to say a raised to power what x, right, plus y. So that's what the rule says. So let's put this into practice. Now, before now, let's assume you do not have a knowledge of this rule. If you have 2 raised to power 2, that is 2 raised to power 3, what you do is 2 times 2, right? That's 2 raised to power 2. Then multiply by 2 times 2 times 2, right? That's multiply in 3 places. So 2 times 2 give you 4. And this give you what? This give you 30. This give you 8. And the total will be 32. Now, with the knowledge of what you have here, you can see this is a little bit lengthy. And I will tell you, this is not a very good method to go with. What if you now have a very big power, a higher power, for example, 2 raised to power 20 times 2 raised to power 45. So do you expect me to start writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? So that's where it becomes very inefficient. So what do we do in this case? So in this case, you're going to say 2 raised to power 20, you add the power together plus 45. And that will give you 2 raised to power 65. So you can actually do that with your calculator, but without wasting time, you can leave it as 2 raised to power what? As 65. So it is much more efficient to do it this way. So that's the first law, and it is called the law of multiplication or addition, as the case may be. Now, the second law we're going to look into, so this is the first one. Let's call this the first one. So the second law we're going to look to is also similar to that. If I have a raised to power x and I say divide by a raised to power y, is exactly as good as writing a raised to power x over a raised to power y. These two expressions happens to be the same. So what you do is that you take the base and you subtract, you say x minus y. You subtract the denominator, the base of the denominator from this. That is, you subtract this from this, not the other way around, not a raised to power y minus x. This is wrong. Rather, you do the opposite. Is that okay? So that means if I have a number like 5 raised to power 3 minus 5, so this is called an invisible index. There is no, divide by 5. This is called an invisible index. So what it means is that there's a raised to power 1 here. So when it is raised to power 1, you may choose not to what? Write it out. So when you take this, you're going to get 5 raised to power 3. And it's going to be minus 2. That will give you 5 raised to power, minus 1. That's actually 1, not 2. So that will give you 5 raised to power 2. And when you take that, you're going to get 25. So this is just the first law, the law of multiplication and division. We're going to see more laws as we move into this program.